All right. Welcome back. I think this is like session 20 like that. When we last left our hero, Brigitte, we had found a passage down, looking into the depths of the castle and the catacombs beneath Castle Ravenloft, looking for the monster's mother's place, which is to say Strad von Zervik's mother's place. We're hoping it's not her former bedroom and underwear drawer because, frankly, I don't want to go poking around that part of the castle. I'm not sure that heading for the tombs is that hot an idea in a castle like this, but in any case, that's where we headed. So down, 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 down through a spiral staircase and down into a level of the castle that is at least partly underwater. Let's not get into the physics of this about how we're up on a mountain. And we've got an area flooded with water. I'm assuming there's a spring that's broken through or something like that. But in any case, flooded she is. Come down the steps here into the water that's about waist height. In this area here, there's a rusted iron doorway to the south, rusted iron doorway to the north. It opens out into a larger room out here. And most notably, we can hear something crying for help, probably through this doorway to the south. Now, Ironsworn is a complete game, absolutely. To get around here, we can absolutely do something like Delve the Depth to see what we find. But Delve the Depths tends to kind of dictate what happens next, where we go next. And if I want to find out about, like, say, the next room over, I like specifically want to be, hey, I'm in this area. I want to go to the south door. And I have any kind of idea what's probably going to be down in there. Delve the Depths may not be the best thing. It'll work. And I've been kind of thinking about this a little bit just because we've been playing Starforged, and Starforged as a later iteration of the game, and which is fine, and in some cases speaks to evolution of the game designer's thought with regard to how this is meant to play out, and in some cases I won't say gaps, but sort of addressing some needs that have come up in play that didn't end up getting addressed necessarily by the play. Now, it's perfectly possible to do Delve the Depths and go down to the next room. I can just sort of dictate that's the room that we find, and the level of threat or whatever that we, sort of see in that area is entirely, sort of dictated by how the dice go, and that works. Yeah, that works. Just for fun, I'm going to grab a move from Starforged and do this just for finding out this next thing, just because it's kind of fun. So there's an exploration move in Starforge. It's essentially equivalent to delve to sort of the delve mechanics, but it's meant for exploring. It could be derelict spaceships, some weird section of space, really whatever. And one of the moves that Sean added in that parallel to Delve that doesn't really exist in Delve itself is this explore a waypoint move. So you've gotten to a section, you've done like your move, and you're in this area, and now I want to specifically explore this area just to see what's kind of around me before I move on. You're not necessarily progressing. You're not moving to another area. You want to explore and find out what's going on here. And I feel like that's a good fit for this. Mechanics are compatible. I could do the same thing by face danger. I could do the same thing with gather information. I could do the same thing with secure an advantage. I'm going to explore a waypoint. I just want to use the move instead. So here's what the move looks like. Over here on, doesn't make it actually any bigger. So when you divert from an expedition, a delve in this case, to examine a notable location, roll plus wits. On the strong hit, you get to choose one of these things. On a weak hit, you uncover something interesting, but it's bound up in a peril or reveals an ominous aspect of this place. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to do that. We got Brigitte here. And I want to make a note here. I messed around on Hero Forge for a while and came up with a cool mini for Brig, so that's kind of fun. But in any case, the thing I want to note here is where I am on progress through the site. I'm just getting into sort of box number 4 on exploring Castle Ravenloft. One of the things that they suggest in the Delve rules that I kind of like, and I hadn't really looked at that much before, was the idea of there being sort of zones of exploration through a site when you're addressing a perilous site. And in this case, the idea is that your foes and your risks and the dangers that you run into become more dangerous the further along this track that you go. So you can sort of try to conclude the thing early, and that can be helpful because if you're up here, because there's a pretty obvious mechanic here. I'm much more sure to successfully complete this delve if I, fill it all the way up to box number 10, right? Obviously. what Sean did, and it's an optional rule, but I really like it, is the stuff that you're likely to face in the site in terms of difficulty, in terms of danger, gets worse the further along the bar you get. And it's somewhat dictated by how difficult the site is. So if you're in a troublesome site, they give you a range of challenges that you're likely to run into. So for the first 3 boxes, the stuff that you're going to fight is going to be either troublesome or dangerous. Well, if I'm just in a troublesome or dangerous site, I'm not going to go with dangerous. I'm going to go with something that's just troublesome. And then when you get up into the 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes, those boxes are going to be either formidable or extreme, or maybe dangerous for real. I can't really remember. I'll look, because I should know, because I'm probably going to use this rule here coming up. They suggest that from 7 to 9, or sorry, from 4 to 7, the risk is going to be either dangerous or formidable, and in the high risk area, the 8, 9, and 10 boxes, formidable or extreme. Not epic. Epic is really meant to be for a specific type of creature or something like that, which is fine. And this is a cool idea, because if you're in here, like, it gives you, there's a, I don't want to say diminishing returns, but it's not the wrong word. There's a sort of sense of diminishing returns of trying to optimize and fill out your bar as far as it can go. Because I don't know if this is in Starforged or not. I need to go back and look. But in any case, there's a sense that you don't necessarily want to fill up as far as it can go, because if you go past like box 7, now you're dealing with more dangerous threats. So yeah, you can max it out, but it's going to be harder. Sometimes that makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't necessarily do this for like a troublesome site, because the troublesome sites are meant to be knocked out pretty quick. In this case, I'm talking about an extreme site. I am very comfortable with the longer I spend in Castle Ravenloft, the more dangerous everything gets. That really makes sense to me. So anyway, I'm now into the zone of like box 4, 5, 6, and 7 here. I'm on number 4. So the dangerous foes that I might have run into in the past are probably going to upgrade to the formidable range, because that's where the option is meant to be. Because this is an extreme site, so it's gonna tilt towards the more risky end of things. In any case, all right. So explore waypoint. We're getting into a more dangerous. Obviously, we're getting a more dangerous part of the castle for sure. So let's see what we got. I'm gonna go to my moves. Oh, I'm not gonna go to my moves. I'm gonna go to my summary here and hit my wits. Where's my wits? I'm not getting any bonus on this. Just is what it is. Got a little beep. Let's see what we got here. Oh, strong hit. I will take that. All right. So on a strong hit, choose one. On a strong hit with a match, I did not get a strong hit with match. Skip that. And then take +2 momentum. Great. Gain. Okay, so I can either find an opportunity. You can envision a favorable insight, a favorable situation, a resource, or encounter. Take +2 momentum. Or gain progress. Mark progress on your expedition as per its rank. Okay. Find an opportunity. Envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter. All right. I'm okay with that. That's cool. I got an idea for this, actually. Okay, so first of all, I'm not marking progress necessarily from finding this thing, but that is neither here nor there. I do get an opportunity, and I want to point out the way this is worded and what I'm going to focus on with this. So I'm exploring a waypoint, and it gives me find an opportunity. Envision a favorable insight. Favorable insight. I know what this insight is likely to be here. So thought on that. My momentum is up, and with just a kind of an indication with my shield and a move of my head, we're indicating that we're moving down here towards this south door, because I want to investigate that. Someone crying for help. All right, so we're down in here. I'm just going to move Brig down in here for right now. All right, so let's tuck this away for now. We have a fungus-laden ceiling. It's just about 3 feet above this still black water. So this is kind of up to my collarbone almost. You gotta wonder how messed up it is that they're keeping somebody down here, or somebody stuck down here in this water. That's pretty messed up. The water is about 5 feet deep. So yeah, right up around the collarbone, just a bit below. Small cells with their entrances blocked by iron bars are on both sides of this arched central hall. Liquid drips from the hanging growth on the ceiling. Man, where is this water coming from? This is a mess. Corridor is about 40 feet long. Look here. Now they have something in here for where the person crying for help is, but I'm ignoring that. It's fine. It's not what I'm doing, because I've got something else in mind. So there's someone in one of the cells. Does it say which one? Doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's one right here by the door. Right here. Number A. Letter A. Somebody in there. And they're ostensibly, you're kind of dressed like a villager. I'm not buying it. I'm not immediately buying it. I'm obviously suspicious. Like I said on yesterday, the last video, this is bait. But I don't see any immediate traps. I'm not particularly worried about one lone person, as long as they're not behind me and it isn't Strahd. So that's fine. Looking through the bars, and they stop as soon as they stop calling out as soon as the door opens. I am Brigitte of the Free Ward. What are you doing here? Who are you? I need a name. Oh my God, I need a name. Let's get in here and look at, thank goodness somebody put all these oracles in here. Names. Hey, look at all this. Can I roll on this? Does it just give me a roll button? See, if I roll. Yeah, I can. Look at that. Melia. Melia. All right, I dig that. Melia. Where's mine? I am Melia, says the woman. And I recall, will you free me? I've been trapped here by the monster that rules this castle. The monster Strahd. And will you free me? I must return to my family. And I sort of nod and extend my hand as though I'm, to shake it. And she sort of hesitates for a second and reaches out. And there's a bit of a reaction from her when I said Free Ward. She turned it into a reaction of hope, but that really wasn't what it was initially. So reach out my gauntleted hand, and she takes it, and I grip it, and I pull her arm through the bar further and up above the water where I can see it, and kind of use the edge of my shield to kind of shove the sleeve back. And I see the tattoo of there on her forearm of the Kushida, which I had thought might be the case, or at least I suspected. I look at it, and I look at her, and she knows that I know what it is. This is the opportunity for insight that I was talking about here. I have here someone who was locked away, but who is a member of the Kushida, which is interesting. Quite interesting. So, what's her goal? Defend a place. Interesting. Well, I don't need that. Unusual roll. I don't buy that. Just looking at a few random oracle things to kind of jog my mind a little bit here, but I have a pretty good idea for what I'm looking for here. In any case, okay, we're gonna look over here at moves, because she knows who I am, and she knows that I know who she is. Alright, I look at her quite sternly, this woman. You are Kushida, I say, without a hint of doubt in my mind, in my voice. But you have been locked away. You will explain to me why your people are here and what you did to be locked away in this place. And if I like your answers, I believe you have not lied to me overmuch, I will free you from this watery tomb. They obviously meant for you to die slowly, of hunger, if not thirst, punish you badly. You can have no loyalty to them, and I can set you free. Tell me what I want to know, and I will free you. Do not lie. You have tried it once, and it failed. If you try it again, you will die here alone and quite soggy. I think this is a threaten. I'm looking at the compel move. On the one hand, I'm trying to convince her, trade for trade. On the other hand, I'm threatening her with, leaving her alone to die. So that's pretty much, I feel like that's iron. Okay, threaten her instead. I'm rolling plus iron on a compel to get her to talk, to find out what that does. And a little thingy here. Look at that. I like it. All right, strong hit on the compel. When you attempt to persuade someone to do something, envision your approach. On the strong hit, they will do what you want and share what they know. Take a +1 momentum. If you use this exchange to gather information, make that move now and add +1. I don't take +1 momentum. That gets me to a 10. That's flippin' awesome. And I think just getting the compel on this is actually going to advance one of my progress tracks a little bit here. Because I have, this isn't progress. What do I want here? I want the summary. I've got my vows here, and one of them is investigate. I'm not quite there yet. Drive the Kushida out of Barovia is 1 box. I have somebody who will tell me stuff. That is an advance for that. Drive the Kushida out of Barovia. Let's save this one for how the gather information roll goes. Alright, let's see how good that roll is. It may advance both moves. Okay, alright. Let's get back over here to the moves. And I want to gather information from her. See what she'll tell me. When you search an area, ask questions, conduct an investigation. Roll plus wits. I am rolling plus wits. I do not have a bond with this person, but I do have a +1 rolling forward from the compel. So that's awesome. We're going to roll that gather information. We're rolling plus wits. We get a +1 on the roll. And all right, weak hit. I can burn momentum for a strong hit. If I burn momentum, I'm definitely marking both of those boxes. When you so let me look at gather information. On a weak hit, the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. Ask the oracle if unsure, and take +1 momentum. Complicates my quest. Strong hit. You discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or the action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn. Take +2 momentum. Okay, so the information complicates your quest or introduces new danger. Envision what you discover. Introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. Ask the oracle if unsure and take +1 momentum. I think I'm gonna stick with the weak hit. I'm still gonna take an advance on one of my two related things, and I think I know which one I'm gonna do here. So I rolled on the oracle for the zealous cult, which is one of the threats, and what the Kushida are for me is a zealous cult. So I am going to the thing that Melia is going to reveal is that she's part of the cult, but she apparently angered the head of the Kushida in this area by making use of the fumbling the message that was sent to me to lure me into the you're the one that just got the letter to come to Barovia. You're the reason I'm here. And I'm like, well, how? I'm already here. What you did worked. I failed to remove the letter, the real letter of the Burgomaster from the messenger that he had sent. So you had a clue that it was not the Burgomaster that sent the message. You knew too soon that something was amiss and came in with your guard up when you came to the village. My leader was. We have, and I'm going with this subvert opposition before devious. The leader is very invested in luring in anyone who shows an interest from the Free Wardens in Barovia. Anyone who shows an interest in Barovia, luring them in and destroying them. You had warning, and we have been unable to run you afoul of the various threats of the area, and we'll have to act directly. He is displeased with me, and showing his displeasure put me here as a lure. And I'm like, a lure? I didn't even know you were here. No, a lure once you were close enough so that you would come in here and not hear as my people approached. And I hear another door open, a rusty door swing open, and rushing footsteps on the stairwell that leads down into the water, and I realized that they were waiting for this door. Somehow this door was trapped and alarmed. She's been lowered here. This is my weak hit, introducing a new danger. So I've been talking to her. Excuse me. The Kushida have circled in for an attack, so they're introducing a new danger. So I've got a fight on my hands. Okay, so as I mentioned already, I'm down in an area here. Okay, so what did I do? I learned a thing though. So we're going to advance a tick on the investigate and avenge the missing members of the Free Warden. So I know that they are up to no good here. So I've got another advance on that, and I might have an opportunity to drive the Kushida out of Barovia. We'll see. We'll see how this fight goes. Which is cool. So, as I mentioned before, I've gotten on my progress here. I'm up into the range where things get a little bit more dangerous. So rather than working with troublesome and dangerous foes, I'm up into the dangerous, formidable range. What I am going to do actually is going to attack with a pack of dangerous foes. In this case, reavers. Your basic combatants, your dudes, your combat people. Under foes and stuff like that. There's a number of different possible Ironlanders. In this case, I'm just going with raiders, mystics. The threat's essentially the same. They do things like, die a glorious death, intimidate, that kind of thing. It's fine. And since I'm going to have a pack of them, they go from being dangerous foes up to formidable foes, but they're also essentially one foe. So I've got this door opens here. They're coming down the steps. I'm going to move these guys in just a little bit. Ismark shouting, Brigitte! And, there's noise coming here. And I glare at Melia and then head back out into this mess and slosh out into this area. This is going to be a hot mess. Okay, so back into the combat. Let's see what we've got going on. All right. Combat's a really interesting thing. We've done it before. I don't have a problem with the actual combat system. It's totally fine, but I'm just going to have a little bit of fun with this thing. Well, what I can do is I can do, there's a fun move here called battle, which basically is like, let's just resolve this fight with one, like basically one roll and then narration. When you fight a battle, it happens in a blur. Envision your objective and roll. Primarily fight at range, do this. If you're fight depending on your courage, allies, and companions. If you're fighting close to overpower your opponents, trickery. Basically, you've got a move here to use any one of your stats just to kind of speed things along. The risk here is that you're paying the price, but it does speed things up. And if it's not really that important to fight, but you know what? I just solved the problem for me here, whether or not I use it, because this is the first time we've fought the Kushida. We finally get to see these cloaked bastards with their curved swords and their little dark machinations, and I'm not gonna have that just go out in one battle roll. So instead, we're gonna go in here and enter the fray. We're gonna do this in proper detail. So when you enter into combat, set the rank for each of your foes. They are functionally they're formidable. 1 progress per harm. They inflict 3 harm. That sucks. And then roll to determine who is in control. If you are facing off against your foe, roll heart. If you're moving into position against an unaware foe or striking without warning, roll shadow. If you're ambushed, roll wits. I'm gonna roll wits. We're at a bit of a disadvantage. We're down in the water. They were waiting to ambush somebody. They may not have been like poised, but they were ready and they got a little bit of alarm and I was distracted. So I'm gonna roll wits and see what we get. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna roll. I select my wits and see how this starts off. Hopefully better than not. So it's a weak hit. All right. So on a weak hit, I can either choose to bolster my position by taking +2 momentum. That's useless. I have a 10, or prepare to act. I'm going to take initiative. I definitely want initiative. Going into a fight, I definitely want initiative because things. If you can go in with initiative, and again, this isn't like D&D, it is an order of attack. Initiative means I'm the one with momentum. He didn't call it momentum because we already have momentum in the game, but I'm the one with the momentum going into the start of this thing, and that opens up different moves for me, and the moves are generally going to be better. So I'm coming into this thing, and I've got a few seconds to bark out some commands. You know, Irina, keep the light up, have a sword ready. Ismark, keep them back on the stairs, and I rush straight across the water here at this forward door. I'm not going to spend time digging up miniatures and stuff. Well, you know what? Maybe I can find, just look at free assets. I just need some kind of freebie dude. Perfect. Gonna grab a bunch of these dudes. They're too big right now. So deal with that in a second. All right, we're just gonna get them in here. I mean, again, Ironsworn is not a game where you worry about, you know, mini placement and battle maps and stuff like that, but I like the visual representation of this as much as anything. So these are just free assets that are on Roll20. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of these dudes here and kind of just throw them on the stairs and around and about. So I'm gonna say there's a few more. There was a couple up in the water, but finding volunteers to hide in the water isn't the easiest thing to do. So, and we'll grab, just to remember that we have somebody here, I will toss Melia back here in this cage back there. Lovely. Great. All right, so I've got people rushing this door, and I'm charging straight across the water, sloshing straight across the water, and straight in. As this door is opening, I am just slamming it and slamming them, and boom, boom, boom. And I've got Ismark working the back there to kind of keep them pinned back, not wanting to get an arrow in the throat. Seems like a good move. We get back in here, take a look at our combat moves, and I believe when you have initiative, yeah, I'm going to strike. When you have initiative and attack in close quarters, roll plus iron. When you have initiative and attack at range, roll plus edge. I am definitely in close quarters, so we are going to roll with iron, and I don't actually cancel this out for just a second. Look at my assets here. Shield bearer, when you face danger, no, I am not clashing and I'm not facing danger. I'm not trying to turn the tide just yet. I am lightly armored, so if I endure harm, that's going to matter. When you clash or battle alongside your companion, ooh, I could have taken that as a bonus to battle. Dang it. Oh well. Alongside your companion where you face danger against an attack by standing together, no. Or when you gather information by listening to the whispers of your campblade, no. None of these things apply. Awesome. All right, so back to the move here, and we're rolling. We're doing iron, and we submit. There's no bonus, and off we go. That's terrible. Okay, that is a complete miss, but I can burn momentum for a strong hit. Yes, Thank you. I will absolutely do that. So I'm burning my momentum. That resets me down to a 2 here. That gets me to a strong hit on this because I am not letting off the gas on this as much as I am able to have anything to say about it. So on a strong hit, inflict +1 harm, and you retain initiative. Awesome. So I come in here and I am barreling, and I already do 2 harm. That's the default for most of the weapons. I get a +1 harm, and because they are formidable opponents, I should get a progress track up here. We're just going to add one here real quick, Kashida fight, and they are formidable. So when I mark, hey, the button works. I mark 1 progress for every harm that I do, and I did 3 harm. So 3 harm means I make 3 progress. Mark, 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 and there we go. I love that button. It makes things so much easier for me. It knows to fill in depending on how dangerous things are. So with 3 out of, that's like a third of the fight. All right, so I'm going to say, narratively speaking, so basically, this door is opening, and it's opening, we're going to say inward. He's bringing it in. As it starts to open, I hit the thing with the shield and just smash into it. Whoa! And it cracks into the person behind him. I hear him kind of cry out. I barrel in through the water. I'm not expecting this. And I push in even further into this thing and get myself right locked into the doorway. And as this person is reeling back through the water, I keep things going, and I slash the flail of heavens, which is still kind of in mace form, straight down on their head, slam, and then again slam. The other guy's still kind of in the way and can't get over this guy, so can't get up close enough to me. I, duck under a sort of a broad swing that they try to get my way, but they're not even really that close. This guy, whether or not he's actually dead from the blows, he's unconscious and he sinks below the water. That's probably going to take him out. So we're going to take this first guy, which I can't quite get to on the clicks. I'm just going to take him out of things. So things have already gone nicely in my favor, and we are going to push on this thing. Combat moves. We're still on strike, and I'm going to stick to that because I don't see a good way. I've got, you know what though? My momentum is kind of shit. I don't necessarily combat moves here. Whoops. Let me go back. There's a thing that Ironsworn does with the fight moves, which I think is kind of nice because it mentions like, here's other stuff you can do when you're in other moves that work in combat. Face danger when you're doing risky stuff in the middle of a fight. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is to beef up my momentum a bit and kind of get a little bit of momentum while I've still got a second here. All right. So what I'm going to do is try to kind of secure my advantage here. But I'd like to do, I'm trying to beef up my momentum, trying to give myself a better opportunity rolling into this thing, and I'm just going to kind of roll into this thing. So when you assess the situation, this is again, I'm using this move against the, I'm using the move from Starforged because it's been tweaked, and frankly, secure an advantage from Ironsworn is kind of weak sauce. It's not a great move. It's not a move that you would really normally waste time on. In this case, it works a little bit better here. So when you assess the situation, make preparations or attempt to gain leverage, envision your action roll. If you act, and I'm going to definitely act with strength, endurance, and aggression. I'm rolling plus iron. All right, so I'm like, I am Brigitte of the Free Wardens. I know who you are, Kashida, and I will drive you from this place. You should flee now. Tell your leader I am coming. Tell him you should flee or die. Your brethren has already fallen, and more will fall here and evermore until you put the shadows of Barovia behind you. Run! So, strength, endurance, and aggression. Roll plus iron. I like that. That's a good... Brigitte's not much of a talker as long as she doesn't... except when she doesn't think about it. When she's actually sitting there, like, trying to decide what to do next, she kind of hesitates. But when it's, like, rolling off in the middle of a fight, man, she's getting St. Crispin's Day. I like it. All right, so we're going to do the move. The move is... Actually, I can probably roll. I'm still going to roll the dice in here for secure an advantage. It's just the results that are different. So I'm rolling. I am definitely rolling plus iron on this because I'm like, no bonus on this. I don't have any bonuses rolling into this thing. I still have advantage, and hopefully I can still retain a strong hit. That would be awesome. Ooh, it is awesome. Yeah. The deal with initiative is I maintain my sort of combat momentum as long as I keep getting strong hits. I'm probably not going to be able to hold on to that, but for as long as I can, I will. So, looking back at the updated secure and advantage, I got a strong hit. On the strong hit, I can pick both of these. I'm going to take +2 momentum and add +1 to my next move, as long as it's not a progress move, which is fine. On a weak hit, I just choose one. The way secured advantage was set up before in Ironsworn, on a strong hit, you only get one of these things, and on a weak hit, you get like a shitty version of you only get like one momentum, which is, most people are like, well, it's mathematically, it's just a bad idea. This is a better version. I think it should be the one that we use everywhere. But in any case, all right, so +2 momentum, great. Getting it back up off the floor, up to a 4, and a +1 forward, and in this case, I am definitely going to roll in with that on another attack. And in this case, I am going to, my move is going to be strike again, because I still have initiative, and I am going to stick to it and roll in hard. When you have initiative and attack in close quarters, roll +iron, and I am going to do that and hope that I can. And I get a +1 on the roll from my previous one, which is awesome. The guy in front of me is quailing in fear. Weak hit. Damn it, lost initiative. But I am still going to do some of my damage here. So when you have initiative and attack in close quarters, roll +iron. On a weak hit, inflict your harm, but you lose initiative. All right, that's fine. That's still 2 harm. So I get over here on my progress thing. I'm against the Kushida fight. I mark twice, which gets me up to a 5. I will take that. That is fine. All right, so this guy is on the ropes and probably reeling back and may have stumbled back into the water. I'm about ready to finish him off, and I hear probably not Ismark, but Irina shout, "Brigitte!" And I hear like a grunt from Ismark and stuff like that, and a lot of rush and clatter of on the stairs, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna shrink these guys down a little bit. I'm gonna show off these miniatures a little bit later, but I tell you what, you can do some really Hero Forge has some really cool opportunity to make like sort of colored miniatures. I've got some ordered. I've got all of these ordered to come, but I also took screenshots of them so I can just use them in the game, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm kind of cursing under my breath and rushing back this way to help in this area. And these guys are coming down the steps, and they're making my life difficult, getting in after my friends. And I think, so I've kind of got 2 options here. If I go full defensive, I'm kind of doing a face danger, playing it kind of defensively, or I can clash. And I've got advantages to this in both cases. Whether I'm clashing or not. Let's take a look at that real quick and see what my options are here. On my assets, I'm a shield bearer, and when I face danger, using my shield as cover, I get to add +1 to my face danger roll. When I clash in close quarters, I take +1 momentum on the strong hit. So if I can get a strong hit, awesome. That's a little riskier. Momentums. I have a companion. He's my shieldkin. When I clash or battle alongside my companion, or when I face danger against an attack by standing together, I add +1. So if I face danger, I'm going to get a +1 from the shield and a +1 from standing with Ismark. Well, that seems like a really good idea. So yeah, I'm rushing in. Left side! Ismark, left side! And he moves over, and I come barreling in, and I am going to face danger. Now the thing again, this is not necessarily a combat move. I'm not going to have the opportunity to do harm, but the consequences of face danger are less than with clash. And in either case, if I get a strong hit, that's going to give me the initiative back. It's actually, any strong hit will give you initiative back. If you get clobbered and you take harm and you roll the endure harm move and you get a strong hit on endure harm, that changes your initiative back. Anything will do it, which is pretty great. So I'm not doing a combat move. I am facing danger. When you attempt something risky and react to an imminent threat, envision your action. I am reacting with forceful defense. I want to say I'm reacting with loyalty because I'm flipping around and charging back in here and not letting anything happen to these folks. I like the story of that. That it's the loyalty that's bringing me back here, not necessarily, because if I really wanted to finish, if the smart thing to do would have been to finish the guy behind me, he's going to be able to get back up on his feet. But as soon as they called for help, I came back. Man, I like both of those. I love the idea of her forcefully coming in here and just and I love the idea also of the loyalty coming back in for which one is it? No, I'm still gonna You know what? Here's what it is. Reinhardt stood alone with his strength and his iron and his weapons and his shield, and he failed. I will succeed because I'm not standing alone. I am succeeding because I have allies. I came alone, but I have allies now, and because I will not abandon them. Even in the face of potential victory, I could drive this one out. I am doing this one with loyalty. That is the difference between me and him. Is not that he's not a loyal person, but it's a matter of priorities. And the difference here is that I am not alone, and I will defend them, and then they will defend. So I'm rolling with loyalty. So there, I'm going to roll with heart. Heart, submit, and I get a +2 because first Ismark and also my shield gives me a 2. By God, it ought to be a good roll. Guess we'll find out. Ho! Ha ha! Well, okay then. Fuck yes! I like that. I have no idea what the opportunity is going to be, but that's cool. Action score of 10. All right, so face danger. Strong hit, you are successful. Take +1 momentum. I mean, that's kind of weak, but I am successful. I get my initiative back. I take +1 momentum. That's just fine, but I also get an opportunity. I get an opportunity. What would be my opportunity? All right, I'm a little bit stuck on this. The matches can sometimes kind of throw me. I'm not 100% sure what to do in here, but I'm going to settle on it's a little bit milk toast, but I will accept that. So what I'm doing here is I've switched my momentum, which is fine. I got the initiative. I believe I added my +1 momentum. Let me just double check. Break sheet here real quick. It should be up to. I honestly don't remember if I moved it up or not. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, +1 momentum, and I get initiative, and I got an opportunity. The opportunity here is just that this guy bails, basically. I've simplified the situation quite a bit. And I'm sure that coward is going to face some repercussions going forward. The Oracle threw up a couple of potential options for me, but nothing really easily presented itself. So I'm just going to kind of go with him failing out and really simplifying my situation pretty drastically, which is cool. All right, so facing off against these guys, I've got initiative again. I've got 5 momentum. And I am going to strike again with my moves, get down here into the combat section, and see if I can't finish these guys off. Well, you have initiative and attack in close quarters, roll +, iron. Let's see what I can do. Ooh. Grr. All right. That's not great. All right, so I rolled a 1 on my attack. And one of the challenges I maxed out with a 10, so that's not awesome. I got a miss, and I don't have the momentum to flip things around, so I am definitely on a miss. Your attack fails, and you must pay the price. Your foe has initiative. Let's look and see what the pay the price is down here. Where's pay the price? Oh, there it is up at the top. All right. When you suffer the outcome of a move, choose 1. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen. It's probably damage. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna stick with that. I can look at the Oracle. I'm not gonna deal with a new danger or foe. Actually, oh god, that would suck. Oh, but it's a really good idea. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen. Roll on the table. No, I actually have a really good result for a new danger or foe is revealed because I know what's in this next room over here. So I'm facing off against these guys and it's exchanging blows, but I can't get they've got they have the high ground and that isn't awesome. So I'm dealing with all of that. I need perfect, great. All right, let's shrink these guys down. So a new foe appears. So this room back here has like waterlogged zombies in it, or it does in the original module, and I am fine with dealing with that as one of the I'm not fine with it. I'm not thrilled about it at all, but they're starting to they're being attracted by the clash and the noise and everything like that. They're like, ugh. And I'm in the middle of the fight, and I hear Irina's like, Brigitte, and I glance over my shoulder, and I just kind of get that look that Theoden gets just as the Nazgul is swooping down and about to land on his horse, and he's just got this look like, come on. So yeah, these guys are coming. So they're gonna complicate things quite a bit. I need to finish this, and that means I need to get a little bit desperate here. So I need to. What I'm going to do for my next thing is I'm facing these guys off. I do not have initiative. That's fine. I'm going to clash instead of strike. When your foe has the initiative and you fight with them in close quarters, roll plus iron. And I get this isn't as the potential for damage is more, which is fine. But I have some assets that can kind of help with it. Can help with this. So when I clash in close quarters, I take plus momentum on a strong hit. Great. So I get potential for more momentum. Ismark, when I clash alongside of him, I get a +1. So I'm clashing. I get a +1 bonus on the roll, and potentially I get more momentum if I take the hit. If I get a hit on any kind of successful hit, on a strong hit. I guess I should say a strong hit. And I don't have anything else that'll happen. I haven't endured harm yet, but worry about that when I get to it. So I am going to clash. Because I need to finish these guys off in a hurry. And I get a +1. Fingers. Sweet. Strong hit. Lovely. Clash. On a strong hit, inflict your harm and choose one. You have the initiative. You bolster your position, take +1 momentum. You find an opening, inflict +1 harm. That is tempting. Because I'm on my progress here, and I can get it up to a 7, which is pretty good odds that if I conclude right then, I can get them out. If I take the +1, but I could get the momentum up to 6 and get a 7 and then try to finish this thing off. Or if I get an 8, I have a obviously better chance of concluding. There's an interesting chart, and unfortunately, I don't know where it is. So basically, if I can get from a 7 to an 8, my odds of getting a strong hit when I close this thing out go from like a 1 in 3 to a 1 in 2. Like from a 36% chance of a strong result versus like basically a 50% chance of a strong result. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to mark 3. I'm not going to take the extra initiative. That's fine. And I'm going to see if I can conclude this fight and get this thing done. So that move, if I go back here to the fights, the combat. All right, so I'm just clashing. I'm just wailing in there. And basically, it's like we have to take them now. And Ismark and I just charge up the stairs and start smashing at feet and knees and just anything we can get at to kind of do this thing. Progress. So let's talk about how do we end this fight. When you make a move to take decisive action and score a strong hit, you may resolve the outcome of this fight. If you do, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. Momentum is ignored on this roll. On a strong hit, this foe is no longer in the fight. They're killed, they're out of action, they flee. The surrender is appropriate to the situation and your intent. All right, so my filled progress is 8. Yes. I mean, a 7 would have done it. A 7 would have been fine too, but I didn't know that. So, yeah. Progress of 8 gives you roughly a 50% chance that you're going to get that strong hit. I kind of want that. On a strong hit, the foe is no longer in the fight. They're killed. They're out of action. They flee. The surrender is appropriate to the situation. Ask the Oracle if you're unsure. All right. So I'm going to say that like probably one of their number gets away unscathed. Another one's injured and limping, sort of limping away, scuttling, scrambling away, and one more of their dudes is dead. So that's great. We've turned things around there, and I don't think there was anything else that happens as a result of that other than just what it is. Progress move. When you make a move, take decisive action and score a strong hit. Where's my... Oh, this is lagging a little bit. And they flee. I'm going to wait. Hopefully the screen doesn't just... I switched around too much, and it might have gotten pissed off at me. Ah, bugger. All right, so we're just going to reload that real quick. Look at that. I came right back to it. Great. All right, so the problem is I've got... Battle is a lot better option for me when I've got a high momentum, because I only get one roll. That's not awesome. All right, quick tally here real quick before I forget. This isn't obviously normally where I would stop and do bookkeeping, but the GM is going to quickly note, hey, mark a couple of these things here. So on my summary sheet here, hopefully this doesn't lag again oh boy. I might have to come to a close here pretty quick, because this sheet is awesome, but I've noticed that this sheet kind of chews up resources. And I think it's, honestly, if I can be completely biased about this, I think it's because it's Chrome. I've got a conflict here with my recording software and Firefox for some reason that I don't understand. It just cropped up a couple weeks ago, so I've been forced to use Chrome. I do not normally use Chrome for anything except for the camera, and for whatever reason, I've noticed that I get a lot of resource problems here, and certainly Chrome, this wouldn't be the first time somebody accused Chrome of being a complete resource hog. I might have to pause here just because I've run into technical difficulties. And actually, this isn't a terrible, yeah, it's gonna crash on me again, so yeah. All right, awesome. We're gonna have to reload and just do a whole bunch of stuff. So here's where we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause right here. I'll just pull up the map. I'm on the stairs. We're looking back. We've got zombies approaching out of the water, which does not fill me with joy. We've just wrapped up a fight. It went actually pretty well for us. I haven't endured any harm. The one time I could have endured harm, we went to the Oracle, and the Oracle instead said, no, you've attracted zombies. This is going to be another formidable opponent coming at me in a pack form, formidable fight. Question only being really, what do I do about it? And plus, as much as I hate to admit it, there's somebody stuck here in this. We'll see. I think she might just have to wait her out. What are we going to do? I'm going to try one more time to see if I can get this character sheet open. See if it'll do it. The problem is I think where it's opening doesn't... Ooh. I'm going to see if this is going to crash. Going to crash? It's probably going to crash. I just want to go to the summary screen. That's all I want to do, guys. Yep. Game called on account of technical difficulty. That's fine. All right. Big fight. Got a big fight coming, maybe, or a battle. Battle's a little bit risky, but I'll deal with that when I get there. I don't want to go into another detailed fight against just a pack of zombies. I'm probably going to go with battle, so we're going to see how that works out. This time, we're just going to look at a dead white screen for a second while we reload this thing, and that's fine. I'm going to try to go back in, try one more time this way, see if it'll behave if I reload the game entirely. We'll see. I'm probably going to need to reboot. We'll see. Is it going to come up or fail? Failed. All right. Yep. Yeah. So gonna reload the browser, gonna reload the whole game, or the whole computer really, and just deal with that fun. But in any case, good fight and good night. We're gonna come back to this facing off against those zombies and see where things get us. This is what happens when you explore a waypoint rather than just moving on, but that's okay. I think this is fun, and it actually let me advance some stuff. Note to myself, I need to advance my thing against the Kushida and finding out more about the whole free warden thing. I'm going to give myself an advance on both of those vows when I get back in. So note to future me: check off the thing on the Kushida, check off the thing on the free warden's vow, because we're moving those things along. They know I am coming, and Tel's coming with that. We're wrapping this thing up. Thanks, guys, and I will talk to you soon.